kicked out of my near every bar around. I've been locked up for driving 120 through town. I've been shot at and cut with a knife, messing around with another man's wife. But other than that, we ain't nothing, just good old boys. Threw my boss out the window and got fired for my last job. Hot wired a city truck and turned it over in the mayor's yard. Beat my brother-in-law half to death. Lost $20 on his football bet. But other than that, we ain't nothing, just good old boys. Good old boys, we're all the same. Ain't no way we'll ever change. Ain't no harm by the things we do or the trouble that we get into. Other than a wild hair once in a while, we can't help it, it's just our style. Good old boys, it's all we'll ever be.
Wait, were you suggesting that maybe we shouldn't be talking until? It's so funny, Cody, because here we are. We've been here, what, a half hour? We're just kind of shooting the bull. And then Ash goes, oh, man, it's time to get on the show. I'm like, we'll just push up the mics and let's just keep talking because that's what we do. There's Micah Patton. I saw him and his son last night. I want to do a reality show with Micah's son. He is amazingly articulate and extremely intelligent to be a fourth grader.
Nice.
I mean, we are not smarter than a fourth grader. Smart kid. He told me last night, my life is a reality show. I think he gets it from his father, who's a great guy. Sure. Absolutely.
Greg Garcia, Mark Kurtz, Rena Scherer on the podium this morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show.
I'm going to work to get little Patton on the air. He could be like the Doogie Howser of politics. We could maybe get him elected to something.
I don't know. Cody might get jealous over there.
I don't know.
Look, we got a dog. We got a kid. This show, it's going downhill.
You know, I had to leave the dog at home because I've got to travel today.
Look what that did to the Brady Bunch. Tiger and Cousin Oliver went downhill.
Right.
All downhill.
There you have it. The Wade and Carter weather brought to you by our friends at AT Deerland Feed. For everything you need, there's Deerland Feed. I was walking yesterday. Took both dogs on a walk.
That's good.
And I can still walk.
Yeah.
And there was a gentleman out there, and he was putting down some kind of weed and feed. And I told him, I said, you need to get on by now, if you're not too late already, and get some of that BALAL.
Balon?
Whatever.
Balon.
Balan, BALAN. And Deerland Feed has it. And you put it out with the broadcast spreader, just like you do fertilizer. And we don't have the seasonal grass burrs in our yard.
Nice.
And the doodles are happy. 70 degrees in Victoria right now under cloudy skies, heading to a high of 82. 80% now chance of rain today, 100% tomorrow, and 80% on Friday. So
yeah, it's causing
at some point it's going to rain.
Problems.
It's the cloud seeding. That's what it is. I'm telling you. It's the scientists. You've got to follow the science.
Three of them. Yeah. Listen to these rainfall totals. Almost 3 inches today. They're forecasting almost 3 inches tomorrow, and then about the third of an inch on Friday. So that's 6 to 7 inches.
Take the morning off and get these products on your lawn today.
Absolutely.
And they'll be watered in. There's Mark Kurtz. Hello, Rena.
Marvin Mickish, Ricky King, Scott Tomko, Bobby Leister reminding us it's called a Wednesday. Judge Posey, good morning. Sarah Elkins checking in.
Hi, Judge. Sarah.
Scott Snow, Lisa Poole, Linda Chris, David Glass, Micah Patton, Stephanie Conti, Mark Cepeda, good morning. Tammy Keeling, Justin Glass, Janie Alvarez, buenos dias to you.
Hello, ma'am.
Andrew Alvarez. There you go. Linda Chris checking in. Brian Crow means Christian West is going to join us this morning. He's running for school board here in Victoria. Blake McCracken, good morning. Welcome everybody who's listening on Magic and watching on Facebook and YouTube. If you're watching on one of those channels, like and follow, like and subscribe. Make a comment on YouTube if you're watching over there, or just go over there and do it.
Yeah, we
do
would
it
love
anyway.
to
Just trying to get those algorithms up a little because
Yeah.
Facebook is doing some wonky things. We've never taken a show down. Every show we've ever streamed on Facebook has been up since the day it aired. And now Facebook is saying, well, you're only going to have 30 days of shows and we're going to pull them all off. So I think the time will come where I think YouTube is the better place to be.
No doubt. But go like and share the page, whatever you can do. It just helps us grow the market. There's Glenn Dry, pastor, checking in. Good morning, sir. He says he's in Houston connecting to Mexico with a mission team. Good for you.
Tammy Williams, Jarrett McCrugan, good morning.
Great group of folks. Same great group of folks that we're blessed to have every day.
So,
what do you got? What do you got?
Donald Trump pardoned one of Hunter Biden's former business partners. I thought was interesting, and I just saw the headline.
He must have donated.
The story. Yeah.
What is Tulsi Gabbard? It seems like she's getting after somebody there. What was she doing? Do you see that?
Pardoned Devin Archer.
From Archer Devlin?
Maybe so, yeah.
The guy from The Fugitive?
Tulsi Gabbard, Director of National Intelligence, and CIA Director John Ratcliffe testifying on an intelligence hearing yesterday in Washington, D.C., and both of them said that no classified information was shared in that leaked chat.
Here's the deal. Who cares? At the end of the day, what they're doing is they're deflecting away from the fact that they messed up. They messed up. They made a mistake. Whatever happened to people just going, we made a mistake. Hey, it won't happen again. We've got systems in place.
Because,
they want you to feel better. The American public in general is stupid. They don't know what's classified and what's not. Why are they explaining themselves to the American public?
Well, and here's the problem with this sort of stuff. We talked a little bit about it yesterday. Own it. Don't do it again. Be better.
Yes.
Joe Biden's administration, and it's not about whataboutisms, but his administration was continually actually leaking classified information about Iran and the Middle East. And nobody paid a price, and the media didn't even really scream about it because the media is leftist.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
No, but in the world of Doge, and we're looking at government waste, if we can use Signal, we as in the government, I'm not saying I'm part of that, but if we as a country, if our government officials can use Signal for these sorts of chats, why the hell are we spending money on secure channels and encrypted communication and things that they're supposed to be using?
Absolutely. Stephanie, what did Trump say explicitly? I'm sorry. I get the feeling that I said something that the administration said without knowing it.
There's Ed Stewart checking in.
I do sometimes dwell in the realm of quick common sense.
Adam Daughtry. But I just, why do we have secure channels of communication if nobody's held accountable? Secretary of State can have her own personal server and emails to do government business on. If Joe Biden can have at least 2 Gmail accounts
that he used for government business, and Hillary Clinton can have her own server that she used for Secretary of State business.
Yeah. Then what's the point? Why are we even bothering?
I think what happened is the internet and the different communication venues came about so quickly that the government didn't have any official protocols on a lot of those things. Judge Posey says, how do I get you live on YouTube? When I do Wade and Carter, I get all the old shows. Same thing if I do live stream. Judge. He says, I'm not tech savvy at my age. You're very, very tech savvy. Cody's going to put it in the feed.
So I'm walking through it right now. I think you go to YouTube. I'm going to go to my subscriptions because I subscribe to us, and it should pop up.
Yeah, Ricky King points out that
right
there was a leftist leftover general who took it upon himself. And I remember when this happened, he said he was going to let China know. I know that he said, if we were going to attack, would you let China know? And he said, yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Linda Christ, what's the point of dressing down these men in public? They may need to be disciplined, but the public needs to know it's okay to trust and follow them. They don't need a public dress down.
Yeah, I don't know. They got to have thick skin too, right? Because if it was Biden's administration, we'd be dressing them down. And we did so when Biden let, state secrets leak about Iran and all that. So we're guilty of it as well.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
The left is deflecting and blowing this way out of proportion. Stephanie Connie says she can't wait to see exactly how this editor of The Atlantic was added. That's the key thing. Why was he added into the chat?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a simple mistake either. I went and read the protocol to get into the meeting. I mean, you've got to go find the person, send them an invitation. You have to let them into the meeting. This guy was definitely let into the meeting.
Johnny Houghton, thank you. Signal is an encrypted network and it has end-to-end encryption. The mistake made was adding the journalist to the chat.
There you go.
That's the point, and that's what we just said. We want to know how he was added to it, why he was added to it.
Yeah, was it planned? I mean, did somebody he certainly didn't request to be added. Was it a typo?
But still, if it's a typo, if he's in your contacts, it's going to show up as a name. Right. What was his name? Jeffrey Goldberg, right?
Yeah. And what was the guy's name?
Mark Waltz.
Yeah. Pete Hegseth taking the heat. Maybe he should. I don't know. Mark Waltz is the guy who appears to have erred. There you go. What happens, happens. But I agree, it shouldn't happen. And again, it's really much ado about nothing. I mean, it
didn't stop the attacks.
That's right. It really just points out how the Houthis have nothing but susceptibility. There's nothing they can do about it.
Yeah, I got on a Twitter feed on this yesterday, and someone was trying to say, well, it's disparaging to our friends and allies. I'm like, I didn't realize Yemen and the Houthis were our friends and allies. Crickets on that.
So Tammy says upset because journalist was added because they got busted. I guess the comment there is saying had it not been public, had the guy from The Atlantic just kept his mouth shut, then this would still be a nothing burger.
I will say this. He didn't go out there and post it on YouTube the minute it happened or Facebook or X or anything to give the Houthis the 2-hour warning that they could have had.
And the thing is, there was a mistake made. A guy got added to a chat that had no business being there. Okay, let's correct the ship and move on. Speaking of getting busted,
But the difference there is they didn't purposefully destroy servers.
Right. They didn't do anything in an attempt to deceive. Let's be honest about that.
And Pete Hegseth was asked about it yesterday and apparently had no clue what was going on.
Right.
Because he was on his way to Hawaii.
He wasn't the guy that invited everybody to the meeting.
But there was the problem there too. They initially said it was Hegseth that did it all.
Oh yeah, the media jumped all over him, and then people started calling him incompetent and yada yada yada. Yeah. But speaking of getting busted, how about House District 30? Not House District. Well, it is House District 30, but it's at the national level. Jasmine Crockett. You'll recall Jasmine Crockett, young lady. She was raised in St. Louis, Missouri, private school educated, extremely articulate, very sharp, came down, graduated University of Houston Law School, I think in about 2006. She was elected, I think, in 22 to the House, to
Texas
the House of Representatives for the state of Texas. And then Eddie Bernice Johnson, who represented the Dallas district, which at the national level is House of Representatives District 30. She decided to step down, and she endorsed Ms. Crockett. And so Jasmine Crockett, who was basically a freshman legislator at the state level, all of a sudden is in the House of Representatives in D.C. Speaking of getting busted, she blurted out the other day, she referred to Abbott, Governor Abbott, the governor of her state that she represents, and I'll read the quote. She referred to the governor as Hot Wheels, Governor Hot Wheels. She said, y'all know we got, now, by the way, and I'm being sincere, and if I exaggerate it, call me out on it. She went from, there are old interviews of her. She's extremely articulate and bright, and was just like, I've always wanted to serve. I knew that I would step up when the opportunity was there.
Well, this is the Barack Obama school of trying to be relevant.
And that's why I'm running for
the
House.
Say you represent.
That's why I'm running for DC, because it's an opportunity. I didn't know when I was elected to the Texas House of Representatives. I had no idea this opportunity was going to go. Eddie Bernice Johnson had talked about stepping down for years, just extremely articulate, very well-spoken. And now she speaks in Ebonics, and she's just a ghetto broad, and it's all an act. And I don't understand it because, number one, the Democrats are a rudderless ship to begin with. And number two, there aren't enough ghetto blacks to get her elected. She needs to appeal to the young,
especially in LA.
She needs to appeal to the young black voter who is tired of a lot of the garbage going on in DC. Here's her comment. Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there, and the only thing hot about him is that he's a hot ass mess, honey. So that's what Sister Sledge blurted out. Now, it's pertinent to note that she blurts that out, a disparaging tone, a slur against the handicapped, a very undemocrat thing to say.
Not really.
Well, the hypocrisy of the left is always their biggest tell. She blurted that out at a human rights
campaign dinner
in Los Angeles. She disparaged her home governor. She slurred his handicap. And I don't know, I think she was just rude. So her comment on Tuesday, she denied allegations that she was referring to Abbott being in a wheelchair. You buying that? She called him Hot Wheels. Come on, she's an idiot. I wasn't thinking about the governor's condition. I was thinking about the planes, trains, and automobiles he used to transfer migrants into communities led by black mayors, deliberately stoking tension and fear among the most vulnerable.
I didn't know Martha's Vineyard had a black mayor.
She's a liar. She's a grifter, con broad. Terrible human being. Tammy Keelan says, yes, she's getting poured out for using the same name you called the governor when I called you on it. Get it ready, Ash. Get it ready. I'm fixing to call for it. You said it was not derogatory as it is security handle, which he picked himself. Put it up, Ash. We are totally knowledgeable, and there's the TK stupidometer. When you say something stupid, I'm going to bust you on it. And notice how I knew it was coming. Here's the difference. You're right. Governor Abbott has been known in security circles as Wheels, codename Wheels. He certainly is complicit with it and may have even chosen it himself. If I said that, it wasn't said in error, but it wasn't said with full knowledge. But here's the difference. We weren't disparaging the governor, and by the way, we're also not elected state representatives who represent the state of Texas, House of Congress, House of Representatives representative at a function in Los Angeles.
Championing human rights.
That's right. We're not hypocrites. I can call him Wheels. This would be exactly like Michael Cloud being at an Alzheimer's awareness event and referring to then President Joe Biden as Sleepy Joe. That's the derogatory, intentional, maligning comment of Miss Crockett. What we said was not derogatory, maligning, or against the governor. So, Tammy, you merit the stupidometer. Own it, wear it, be proud of it. In fact, you're the only person to have gotten it twice. So worth noting that the stupidometer resides in Country Club with Miss Keeling while she feels sorry for everybody but Wade and Carter.
Brian Small says, you can see me leg out a hustle double and you'll call him Wheels.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Unbelievable. I'll take that heat. We did call him that, but don't act like she was doing it. She didn't. We clarified that was also his security handle. She didn't. She called him Hot Wheels and followed it in the same sentence by calling our governor a hot ass mess in Los Angeles.
She was trying to be funny. She got chuckles in the crowd.
That's right.
Tells me those in the crowd championing their cause for human rights probably should have booed her, not laughed along with her.
That's right.
Should have called her out for making fun of somebody in a wheelchair who 30 years ago probably struggled to get into some buildings because there wasn't equal access to the handicapped.
That's exactly right. It's just like we told you way back when the governor came down here and he was coming down to announce his bid for re-election. He was going to do so at Fasadi's because it's the oldest. I said, he ain't going inside that building. People are like, oh yeah, he's going to. I said, he ain't going inside that building. There's no ramp there. He is an ADA advocate. He's not going to let you bump the governor up the steps of that deli. Now, I don't think that deli needs a ramp. I'm not saying that. And of course, what happened? He announced his candidacy in the street. They decided the venue wasn't big enough. We told you that. We told you that before it happened. Being in tune with reality doesn't make me a hypocrite.
Is it hard being right all the time?
I'm not right all the time, but I watch enough and I'm right enough that if you ride with us, it's kind of like over time, the stock market always seems to help. Ride with me. Tammy, you're right. You're the one. She says fake outrage and hypocrisy. That sums you up, Tammy. Absolutely. Thank you for wearing that. She calls it a badge of honor. Good for you, ma'am. Good for you. You are a tremendous leftist narcissist. It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. You're always the victim. You're never wrong. You've got an opinion on everything, and you're rarely right.
Always the right opinion.
Yeah.
Hey, there's the Iceman checking. It's been a while. How are you?
There you go. P. Strauss, genius, comes in and says, Tammy, you finally got one right. The hypocrisy and fake outrage is alive and well on the left.
Yep. There you go. Michelle Wilson Hawkins says Fasadi's has a ramp, just not a permanent one.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
O'Shea checking in. Yeah. Anybody that thinks that this country hasn't advanced access and accessibility for those who are disabled, just travel to another country.
Well, all you have to do though is Tammy says name calling becomes me. And why don't you just put neener? They're playing 80s rock and roll over on 108. Get over there. I don't get it. Just remember, I was told a long time ago, don't argue with the newspaper. They buy their ink by the barrel. You'd be a fool to make me an enemy. I can tell you that.
John Williams, good morning. Carrie Bump, good morning. I don't think anybody's making you an enemy. Well, now you're playing victim.
I'm very sad. Well, I'm a narcissist as well. By the way, narcissists get things done. Absolutely.
Christian West going to join us bottom of the hour, so let's take a break. We will run through.
Go ahead.
All right, I will. Thanks. Dollar Floor Store. Stop by, check them out on Navarro. The Floor Trader. They've got everything you need at the best prices you will find anywhere, and they've got things that you won't find anywhere else. That's what Tamara and the gang over at the Dollar Floor Store, and you're buying from a locally, when I say locally, a Texas-owned business.
I think they're based in College Station.
Yeah, they are.
Whoop! You got to get that out when you get
didn't
a chance.
say no. You didn't say A&M.
Fighting Texas Aggies. Whoop! Attaboy. You're there now.
Went Services for all your electrical needs. Whether you're looking to renovate a house and you want more plugs, you bought an old house and there's one per wall and you want two per wall. Went can come in and do that for you. Because you can never have enough plugs, and they can even put those ones in that you just plug your charging cable right into. You don't even need the little widget.
You don't need the widget?
No, they've got receptacles now with that in it. It's awesome stuff.
Chestnut Furniture, come by and just see. Like you said, you had your eye on a new best sofa.
It's a nice leather sofa.
Get in there.
Yeah.
Chestnut and Love, make your house a home. Get in and see why you just always do better at Chestnut. Great, great resource in our community. Been around over 100 years. Brand Us. Commander Cody can help you with a website, with a page on Facebook. He can help you do all kinds of things. So see what Christy Thurman had to say there. She was
we will.
sharp.
As soon as we're done with the break, we'll get to that.
All right, let's do that. Brand Us. Commander can help you. Ads and Offer, adsandoffer.com. For all your vehicular needs, whether it's service, windshields, wipers, brakes, tires, they do it all. Inspections. I don't know if you ever get inspected anymore, do you?
Not anymore, no.
Yippee. Get in and see Atzenhofer today. Paravita Wellness, get healthy. Get in and get healthy. You want to lose some weight? You want to firm up your diet? You want to reduce cholesterol, increase protein? They can do that for you. White Trash Services, White Trash Site Services. You want to tear something down? You want to demolish something? You want to haul it off? You want to grade the land?
They'll do all of that.
They can do all of that. White Trash Services, 550-1826. And if you're in the counties, reach out to them for your trash service. HR Mallory, thank you, sir. We don't need defending. He's right. Tammy Keeling, if he's against the ADA, why does he still have the Governor's Council on Disability? Wow, I've never known anybody in a wheelchair that wasn't for ADA.
They'll claim that's DEI. That's how the left will do that. Christy Thurman says, random question here. Does anyone know why the city doesn't maintain and plant colorful flowers at the Welcome to Victoria sign near the loop at the loop near the Cuero Highway, the Texan, and also the landscaping spot near the Pinto Bean Strip where the ivy drip?
I think they just got the one at the Texan redone with colorful.
I think part of the issue is they plant those and then they die in the heat of the summer, and then they got to wait till the weather cools up to do them again. So that's probably part of it. I would like to see them plant things that actually take a little less maintenance, because part of the issue,
cactus and succulents.
Xeriscape it. That would be pretty cool. Or oleanders. I've always liked oleanders. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, because they're poisonous.
Yeah. Jonathan Williams says, great win by UHV last night on ESPN Plus. 4 runs in the 8th. UHV beats Corpus Christi A&M for the first time ever, sweeping them. And I believe that's the first time we've ever been on ESPN Plus. It was kind of cool when perusing the ESPN Plus to
very nice
to go through that and see that. So that was pretty cool. And check something here real quick. And the Jags softball team swept A&M San Antonio, seemed to be our system rival.
Right?
Maybe.
You know, it's interesting. I saw something. I subscribe to the San Antonio Business Journal, and I'm not kidding you. Every day, there are major things happening in these bigger cities. I mean, yesterday, there's a building downtown. It's called One River Center, One River Place. There's a whole bunch of ones in downtown San Antonio. But Ash, it's a building that USAA used to occupy, and they have, moved everything out to their campus out by the TPC. And UT San Antonio bought this building that everybody believes had a fair market value of at least $22.5 million. And they're going to, it's big, 240,000 square feet or something. And they're going to use this building apparently to house educators. And it's going to be an office building. But UTSA, there is a large growth momentum thing going in San Antonio, because there's also A&M San Antonio that's out there on the south side off 1604. They have 700 acres out there.
Yeah.
And I've always
the county and the city gave them a bunch of land. The county and the city just gave them a few $1 million to build some facilities down there.
Yeah.
I believe that's the second time the city and the county have given AM San Antonio several $1 million to build things.
Yeah. But if you think about it, I've always joked that if you took away the military and retired people, San Antonio is, Glen Rose, but instead, Ricky King, yes, sir. He says, I think Tammy likes getting under Brent's skin. She does it every morning. The funny thing is, it's okay to get under my skin. Just be right. Just come at me with something that I did wrong. Don't just come at me.
She wouldn't be under your skin.
Right. Well, I use her as like a straw man. It's like a Peter McNally that I don't have to respect. Just don't be stupid.
Rob Bargerbrook asked, what will UHV's new name be according to the bill? Texas A&M University Victoria, if it passes.
Yeah, and it's still away from happening. I mean, in theory, it could get voted down, but here's the problem. I don't see the end game. Has been for years, Jarrett. Has been for years. I don't see the end game for UHV, and I'm not asking you to comment on this because it's Ash's employer. So let's be fair here. I don't see the end game for UHV.
All opinions regarding UHV and
mine, not
Brent Carter's, and not reflective of Ash Wade's.
If it doesn't happen,
that's why it's the Wade and Carter show.
How does UHV rally? How does UHV come back from? We had a fire sale. When you have a garage sale and nobody buys your old TV, you donate it. What is UHV to do if A&M doesn't? At this point, take over, not buy UHV, just take it over. Assume payments. It's yours. Jared Glass, you are her Trump. You could give her $100 and she complained that you put it in the wrong hand. Yeah, true.
I'll take it.
She calls it middle school level conversation.
That's above where radio typically is.
Yeah, and Tammy, everybody knows here. Everybody here knows you're so much smarter than all of us. You remind us often. I did not know that ESC 3, Education Service Center 3, that would be Region 3, paid almost $22.5 million for Pioneer. I did not know that. I don't know that. I'm quoting Ms. Keeling on that. She would
they paid that much?
I don't think they paid that much for it.
They did. They overpaid.
I think the number was a fraction of that.
If they paid that, why did we just took $22 million worth of property off the tax rolls?
Oh, we did that for sure. No, there's no doubt that happened.
Yeah. It probably wasn't valued at that.
It may have been valued at that, but I don't think they paid that. No.
We've got a guest here, Christian West.
No, Tammy, it's just you.
Come on in, Christian.
We've been corrected before. I've been told that we were wrong before. Have I not?
Yes.
Christian.
He's coming.
I
think he fell asleep on that comfy couch out there. He was nodding off after getting the kids to school and everything else.
You've told me I'm wrong quite often. It doesn't offend me. I've been wrong. I can be wrong. Yep. I'm on my second marriage. Yep. Clearly mistakes have been made.
And lessons learned.
That's right.
Good morning. Look straight into that camera because that's the one you're talking to all of Victoria. You can move that mic. You can move that mic wherever you need to.
Coming in with the bandage? You looking for the sympathy vote? What do you got?
Yeah, cut my thumb off,
What'd you do, really?
Yeah, I really cut the tip of my thumb off.
Ouch.
Yeah, I really did. I got to go in for a skin graft.
Sounds like.
What were you doing? Slicing up that picanha real nice and thin? Or
I wish I was cutting potatoes for my kids.
Oh, even worse.
Probably it right on that mandolin.
That's just ketchup, Billy. Eat it.
Probably a dull knife, too.
Thank you, HR Mallory. I've seen Brent admit being wrong more than others. Thank you, HR, sir. That's a state trooper right there. That's super trooper.
Okay.
He's sworn to tell the truth.
Because when he pulls you over, I was wrong. I was speeding.
So look, here's the deal. Here's what I'm saying. So just so you folks know, our man came in with his homework. He's got this is about this here. Go on.
Type double space, big print, so I could read without my readers. We just want to talk to you about you. Tell us your background.
All right.
Because you can tell this better than we can tell this.
All right.
Absolutely.
So I am a Navy veteran, active duty Navy veteran. I specialized in law enforcement, security forces, anti-terrorism, force protection. I have a little bit of background with FEMA to back me up, FEMA certifications and everything like that. I moved out to Victoria back in the end of 2021. My parents have made Victoria home. My wife's from Louisiana, so we wanted to be close to both my family and my in-laws.
Your wife's from Louisiana. She thinks Victoria is like an upgrade. She's just happy to be here.
Yeah, she's excited to be closer to home and everything like that.
The roads remind her of home. She thinks that it's great.
That's true. So came out here, and now I want to give back to the community by running for school board.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So, given your Navy background, let me ask you a real quick question: is the leftist media making much ado about nothing over this whole signal conversation thing that happened over the weekend? And
so this signal conversation, it's not the first time it's ever happened. Like, let's really break down to the brass tacks. It's not the first time that Congress or Senate has dropped the ball with national security. Now they're just making it a big deal because why? Who's in office right now?
There you go.
Yeah, the person that
you got to blame Trump for everything.
Yeah,
it's always easier to point the finger at somebody, not realizing there's 3 fingers pointing back at you.
Amen. Yeah. Tell us what your plans are. What makes you different? Well, I mean, as far as being like your motivation for the school board.
That's a good question. What's your motivation?
Yeah, I'm going to bet you're thinking about school security and all that.
Yep.
But tell us your
my
thoughts.
motivation is my kids, my family. First and foremost, I put my kids before above myself and above my wife. I think it's kind of the other way around. It should be you put your wife first, then your kids. But I hold my kids to a high standard, and I get that from the discipline of the military. So I hold my kids to a very high standard. They know what to expect from me, and I'll give them 120% if they give me 100%. That's all I ask for. I'm the same way for anybody's kids. I care about the community. I care about the children in my neighborhood. If you ask anybody in my neighborhood, I'm the guy that's screaming down the block, yelling at people for speeding down my neighborhood. Sure. I'll yell at the FedEx guy. I'll yell at the UPS driver.
Yep.
I'm a big advocate for the voiceless, basically, and children need their voices heard.
Our buddy right here, Brian Small, who's always good with a quip, says thumbs up for school board.
Yeah. Thank you.
He's on fire today. He's had a couple of them.
Yeah.
So why school board? What do you see as the biggest issues that VISD has that you can get on and if elected? And well, first remind which district you're in so the voters know which district or how to support you.
Okay, so I'm a part of District 7, and I'm running against Michael Costella and Josh Moore. They are both in the running with me for District 7. VISD has some issues that I've noticed so far, being that my kids are in the ISD themselves. My oldest goes to West, my middle child, she's at Cade, and my youngest, my son, is at Schalemer. The issue that I'm having with the ISD is transparency. I would love more transparency, and I feel like that I could bridge that gap between parents in the community and the ISD. I think that I could bring something to show, hey, this is the issue that we have at hand. Parents, let's talk about it. No more of this, oh, well, we're going to send out a newsletter and you guys can, read the newsletter. No, actually get off your butts, get off the couch, come to these ISD meetings, come sit down and voice your opinions. That's what we've been dealing with since COVID, is a lot of people not wanting to get up and speak their voices, and everybody's entitled to their opinion. But let's figure out how to do things the right way. I have an issue with receiving notifications from the ISD 8 hours later when an incident happens. Okay. And I'll be specific. The incident that happened with the individual who was arrested at Cade, ISD did not issue a statement until 8 p.m. that night. That is unsatisfactory across the board. I don't care who you are. Parents needed to be notified about that situation because it concerns their children. The parents have the right to know if their children are
compromised.
That is a good word. I like that word. I do.
Like I feel.
No,
what you're
I like the word. I'm
potentially compromised.
And exactly, potentially compromised. Parents need to know. Okay, we had the horrific incident in Uvalde happen. I don't want to talk about it because I'm law enforcement myself. I have the law enforcement background and I back the blue 100,000%, but that was unsatisfactory across the board. We don't need another incident coming into the Victoria ISD in any way, shape, or form. And it can go to the most extreme, and then it could be just super basic.
The ISD can close schools 3 days before an expected freeze, and then it doesn't freeze, but 8 to 10 hours after an incident on campus, they finally get around.
Exactly. It's unsatisfactory. And I understand protecting the victims. I understand protecting the
and we're referring to the
perpetrator.
Thank you.
But we're referring to the gentleman that was working at Cade that was arrested on a warrant.
Yes. That's
alleged,
the incident.
that's the incident we're referring to. Allegedly.
Right. Yes.
Ricky King, we're visiting with Christian West. He's a Navy veteran, and he's running for school board District 7.
Hello.
He also is actually right-handed, and he cut up a potato with a knife with his left hand and almost amputated his thumb. It didn't take long to learn.
It didn't take long.
You remember Pam? You're a big guy, but you've been hurt.
Yeah.
And you go, ow, like you learn before.
That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. I went, ow, and I looked, I was like, you've got to be kidding. And it was bleeding a lot. I was like, honey, this is it. I've done it this time. Let's go to the emergency room.
Yeah, make sure that knife's sharp next time. I just saw your text. So,
no, it's okay. It's okay.
At least you found a place to park.
I did. Yeah. I found the place. I actually go to church right here at Liberty. Okay. So I was like, oh, I didn't realize it was this close. So
no, good. Because if you were waiting on me to tell you where to park, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Andy Rockovich says they spend $3.9 million per year on data services to be able to get alerts out instantly.
And he agrees. VISD needs oversight.
There needs to be a better streamline of information being disseminated to the public.
Right.
I don't think a monthly newsletter is going to really cut it. You want to get back to it.
If we were just on the air 24/7, they could just call us and we could let them know.
So are we talking about a brand expansion here? Are you going to expand?
Yeah, Wade and Carter Security Services.
I was thinking the 24 hour.
I'm right here. Let's go.
See, we got a guy.
Couple cots over here in the corner.
I could be private security, so I don't have to follow the same laws as law enforcement.
Might need it the way this morning started off. What other issues do you see in the district that you think if you're elected or you want to bring to attention of those that you want to elect you so that they know you're the one to elect?
Teacher support is a big one for me. I definitely feel like teachers don't get the support that they deserve. You saw during 2020, 21, 22, and even to this day, teachers do not get the support like they used to, especially when I was growing up. Teachers actually cared, and people cared about the teachers. Now, I definitely think that we should stop pulling people off the side of the road and giving them a job for a teaching position. I think those should be vetted a little bit harder. Vetting process should be done, but I do support our teachers. I definitely think our teachers should get that pay increase. That Vautry didn't pass, and I understand that there's verbiage on the ballot that Texas legislation requires the ISD or whoever writes the ballot out. I understand that, but now we need to get legislation to go and change that. We need to get our representatives to go in there and change it. Well, teachers don't fall under maintenance. That's not the category of a teacher. That's just unsatisfactory too. You're telling me the teaching department is a maintenance department? It's not the same thing.
I think that everybody, and you know this from the service as well, everybody loves an attaboy. Everybody loves, I just wonder as a community, just if we could isolate ourselves a little bit, how much better of a product we could get if we lifted up our teachers. If school teachers were heroes.
Yes.
If we looked at them as an integral part of our family, that they matter, they shape our kids. They're with your kids as many hours a day as you are.
Yes.
But I think there's the problem. Society has relied on teachers to raise their kids.
And that's another thing that brings it back home is, well, your children are getting very minimal discipline at school because you can only go so far without becoming without breaking any laws. I understand that, but parents need to step up at home and discipline their children at home. If you've got a child who's just consistently disruptive, a repeat offender doing the same thing again, somebody needs to discipline that child at home.
Melissa Hanson makes a good point. She says, I bet the delay was because they didn't want parents panicking and picking their kids up. Still not the school's right to make that call. That's my call. Yep. Let me know what's going on.
Yep.
And if and by the way, it's okay to say, hey, we had an incident today. They could have said, I'm certain that the report you got was we had an incident today.
Yep.
Nothing happened. The person was arrested.
Oh, I still have the email.
Right. Yeah. And so they could have done that 8 hours earlier and you wouldn't have rushed to get your kid.
It brings me back to 9/11. You gentlemen both remember 9/11. When I was in school for 9/11, my parents pulled me out of school and I was in Fort Worth in school. And then, 9/11 happened in Pennsylvania, Washington, D.C., and New York. And I was still pulled out of school immediately. So I think there needs to be a better streamline for parents to get that information if they choose to remove their student from school.
And we said that about don't panic, pick your kids up. And Brian Small says, and kids need to learn how to cut their own potatoes. You got a kid that's at West. I mean, put him in charge of cutting the potatoes.
I like that.
Sub that out.
That's awesome.
When you go home, say, I was on the radio today in front of the whole world.
I'm going to let my son know.
So you see this thumb?
Should have been your thumb, kid.
My thumb dedicated its life to you. Yes.
Absolutely.
I'm renaming my thumb after you, son.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. We have
B Small's on fire today.
My wife's brother tells a story about being a little guy, impressionable, and his dad was out in the yard, and Joey always has a really sharp pocket knife. He's like that guy when he's got an extra minute, he's well, he's out there showing Johnny how to trim these limbs off this bush, and all of a sudden he gets it and just sticks it right in his forearm. And Johnny said, he goes, looking back, he goes, Dad's knees buckled. But he goes, at the time, he goes, yep. Yeah, we're going to need to get in the car. I'm going to have to go get a couple.
Shock had to have instantly set in for him. Man.
Yeah, we're going to have to go. We're going to have to go to the hospital.
Pick up a little something.
Who did that work for you? That doesn't look like a homemade triage there. Who did that for you?
So the ace wrap is for myself, is to keep from hitting it. I hit it walking into a door.
Yes,
I'm hitting the heck out of it. But that's what they did. So they did the inside part at the ER, but I've been changing the bandages and trying my best at doing it. I'm not
that good.
Not really that great. I mean, this is just to protect it.
You don't need the end of that thumb. It'll be okay.
Oh, the nail is completely gone. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Brent's gonna pass.
I think
I'm getting weak.
I'm waiting for it to, either get infected or not get infected at this point. I had crawfish the other day and it smelled really bad.
Put some Robitussin on it. You'll be okay. Tussin. When in doubt, more Tussin. I think that's an Eddie Murphy.
Absolutely.
Line
pour that on anything. How can voters reach out to you and find out more and talk to you about what they want out of VISD and their candidate in District
I got
7?
you. So you can email me at christian.robert.west@gmail.com. So you can find me on Facebook. I have 2 Facebook platforms. Christian West is my candidacy platform. And then Christian Robert West is my personal page. I post a lot of videos and photos of my kids and stuff.
You don't have one with a totally different name?
Nope. Just
Okay,
Christian.
we used to have a mayor that had multiple accounts, but some of them he would argue with himself. And for real, the fake account would say something like, "You're an idiot." And he would say, "How so?" And then the fake account would send him, "No, you did this." Well, here's why.
You're really going the extra mile there. That's really, I could barely keep up with the 2 that I have. Christian Robert West or Christian West. I'm also on Nextdoor. Nextdoor has been my real big thing right now.
Little MySpace
account.
MySpace.
Nextdoor app goes crazy for me. I'm actually having a conversation about Victoria County now and sexual offenders and people who commit child sexual assault and stuff like that. I posted that yesterday and it's going crazy.
Well, I want to tell you, I'm sorry, Ash, go ahead.
No, I was just going to, what do you think? How can the district improve our outcomes? Because that's been an issue for A long time here.
Okay, what kind of outcomes are you talking about?
Our
What
student outcomes, college readiness.
Okay, that's a good one. I actually went to one of the school board meetings when they brought out the TAPR report and they were going over the TAPR report. So we have college career military readiness, CCMR. So our career military readiness, we have great numbers. Our kids are prepared for a career, are prepared for the military, and that's thanks to the CTE programs. CTE programs are phenomenal, and I wish we could expand on that. I do wish to expand on that.
And I don't think VISD tells that story enough.
No. And
they do a lot, but they don't talk about it much.
I think individually, away from everybody should talk on the CTE program at their own time, on their own, podcasts, radio stations, however. But I do believe in the CTE program. I even brought up doing barbecue as an elective. Why not have students learn how to cook? We need people to cook. We need people to learn how to.
The kids in the welding program to build the pits.
And you know
that's exactly what I said. It's exactly what I said.
That is exactly. I was just, for the most part, a straight A student. And that is something I would have signed up for as an elective.
Learning how to smoke some brisket. Yeah, we're in Texas. Why not?
Potato cutting,
potato cutting, how to, banded triage yourself really quick.
Had the class been available, he would be a whole person.
Yep. So our
smoke a brisket out back of the school instead of smoke a bong.
Right. I like it.
So I think that I did read our college numbers have gone down a lot. And that's students going into college and then dropping out as freshmen. We keep up with those stats. The state of Texas keeps up with those stats, and those stats are dropping dramatically.
Yeah, I think I think the attainment level in the Victoria area is 18% of people in this region that get a college degree. And I'm not saying college is for everybody, but that number hasn't changed in the almost 30 years I've lived here.
Yeah,
despite efforts to try to do so, or at least lip service that the efforts have been made.
Tammy Williams throws out, I recommend subbing at different schools. Shalimar is a wonderful school. There are other schools that are not even close to their standards. Jennifer Rayburn says there are high school competition barbecue teams in Texas.
Yep.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
And that's, good, clean fun. Get together on a Saturday somewhere, cook it up.
Yeah. You get like 10 different briskets. You have 10 different kids smoke a brisket. You got food for a lot of people, and give back to the homeless. You could give that food away. You don't have to do anything special with it. And
Can I be homeless just for that moment?
Just for that moment, I identify.
Just don't comb
homeless.
your beard in the morning, and you'd look the part as well.
Let me tell you, you're running in a race. There's 3 people. You're the third, and we've had you all on the program. And Ash, we don't ever endorse anybody. That's not our format. But I just want to say that I feel comfortable that District 7 is going to be well represented. We've heard a lot of creative ideas, new ideas,
different issues that each candidate has.
I applaud you for putting your name in the hat. You're a young man, and you're obviously caring.
And you've got skin in the game because you've got a student in high school. No, none. But you've got a student in high school, a son in high school. You've got
daughter in high school. You've
got a middle schooler and an elementary school age child. So you're going to be in this for the long haul.
Yep.
But here he is. He's got a daughter, in theory, in need of maybe some home ec. And he's not striving to teach her how to cut those potatoes. I don't understand why
now.
He's got
starting.
She's got a job. She's got a full-time job on top of being a high school student. So she's killing it. She just started driving and everything. So I'm like, pay your car insurance.
Good
She's
for
like,
her.
well, I got to go get a job. Well, your grandfather will give you a job. Let's go.
Very good
There
for
you
her.
go.
Good
Yeah.
for
Awesome.
you.
One of the things we haven't known with any of the candidates is where are the different districts for those who don't know.
Right. Where is District 7?
Where's District 7?
So District 7 would be Northwest Victoria. I would say from
What schools? That might be an easier way to.
that's actually a good question. There's a lot of schools. Shalimar is in there. East is right there on the line, so I don't think East is in 7 because it's so close on that
maybe
line.
that was the wrong
What is that,
question.
Miori Lane? That would be in
So north of the loop then.
northwest of the loop. Yes, everything
There you
northwest.
go.
There you go. Well, we appreciate you coming in.
No,
We
thank
wish
you very
nothing but
much.
The best.
I do appreciate you.
Yes,
Thank you
sir.
so
And
much.
feel free to come back. When is the election and when's the voting start?
So the election is May 3rd. I also have a candidate forum, which is being hosted by Victoria Advocate and the Victoria League of Women Voters. That is coming up on April 16th.
April 16th. Where is it?
This is going to be at UHV.
Probably in the Walker Auditorium.
Yes, exactly. Yes. That is exactly it. So it will be April 16th, and all candidates will be there.
And what do you have? 30 days prior to the election, you have to be registered to vote. So if you have not registered to vote, make sure you get that done before.
Get out and
basically
vote.
Before April.
Yep.
Fantastic. We appreciate you coming in.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Godspeed. Stay healthy, and could just when in doubt, slow down those potatoes.
Thank you.
That's Christian West. We appreciate him coming in and spending time.
Yeah. Get the Vegematic.
We have a few more.
Just slice those things for you,
folks. If you need a pro to cut the meat, get a hold of the chopping block. It's Wednesday over there. It's Wacky Wing Wednesday. Get their wings. Allen's Wrecker Service.
I had their specials pulled up.
Be small.
I was ready to go.
Be small with the dagger. Make sure to grab a pamphlet from Brent on winning the race. That's nice.
$6 on
baseball
sirloin. The flank steaks and inside skirts are available. Perfect for fajitas, and they've still got the $6 sirloin.
Brian, don't make any comments about inside skirts. Allen's Wrecker Service, 578-6300. Let Allen help you. Don't lose a thumb over it.
No.
You have an accident, give them a call. They'll come out and help you. Veracruz Restaurant today, as always, every week is Caldo Wednesday. Something we dubbed it because they only have Caldo
on Wednesday.
Practical, common sense journalism. Veracruz Restaurant. Get in today. USA Concrete Coating. You want to sand it, seal it, stain it, paint it? They can help you coat your concrete. Hence the name USA Concrete Coatings. 578-HOME. Let them help you. And Palace Bingo, where friends meet friends. Get to Palace and have a blast. Now, Ash, I'm going to do something I don't normally do.
All right.
So my son, Rylan, he's 12. He was taxed, as the public schools do all the time. Side point. He was taxed with selling these little discount cards.
Yep.
I can't really tell you the value of the card, what it does. I know that you get discounts, 2-for-1 drinks, or it's happy hour all the time at Sonic, or whatever it is. But there's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of things on there. It's $20. It's good for a year. $20, good for a year. If you have any interest, I think he's got to sell 10. If half a dozen of you want to buy a card, they're $20. You can Venmo me. We'll collect later. I trust you all. Just let me know somewhere in the comments, or you know what? Better still, text me. 894-4020. That's kind of shameless. I apologize.
But you know what? I'm going to do something that we don't do on this show birthdays, because my grandson Graydon turned 7 today.
7?
Yes. So
don't you remember when he was just a little waddy-head boy coming into the studio?
Yep. Happy birthday, Graydon. Love you. Hope you have a great birthday and big party this weekend. So
that is all 7 years old, folks. Because I remember he was born. We were already on the air. What a deal. And Tyler does not age. So that's good.
No, she doesn't.
That's good. Folks, reach out to me, 894-4020, and I'll make sure you get that card. They're $20. They're good for a year. You're helping a kid.
Does he have to sell somebody else's cards, like when you're told to bring boxes of Kleenex for all the other kids?
No, isn't that crazy? I always wonder about the kids that just don't bring the stuff.
Just because they don't have to. Yeah. I understand the kids that can't. There's parents that game the system. Well, I'm not going to go get you the paper towel and the Kleenex and the markers because somebody else will bring them for you.
Bring me 200 number 2 pencils. Somewhere there's a room at VISD just full of number 2 pencils. Crazy. Oh,
you know what they really need? Somebody to bring better toilet paper.
It's that John Wayne toilet paper.
Absolutely.
That's the end of this crappy show.
80 grit.
It's rough and tough, and don't take crap off nobody. Y'all have a great day, folks. We love you. Bye.
Bye, folks.
I've been shot at and cut with a knife.